Chelsea have sacked Thomas Tuchel and brought in Graham Potter very quickly. So today we're going to go into FM22 and simulate Potter's time at Chelsea. I'm using an updated database to get the correct league tables and correct squads and transfers in the game. And so you can see that Chelsea currently have players like Koulibaly, Cucurella, Sterling, Aubameyang and Fofana all in the squad. Most importantly though, the big man himself is here, Graham Potter, in charge of Chelsea. I really love his management history though. It looks like it's come straight out of a Football Manager journeyman save. One thing that we haven't got in this database is the real life results. Sadly, because it's a year in the future from the start of FM22, you can't actually generate those correct results. We'll have to wait until FM23 comes out for that to happen. Although that's going to come out very soon, and if you want to buy the game for cheaper than you can get it on Steam, link down to my affiliate link with Fanatical in the description. Anyway, I've loaded things up a season into the future, and Chelsea have won the league title. As you can see, 83 points on the board, 2 points ahead of City and Tottenham, and Liverpool finishing a little way off the mark. Ronaldo ends up top scorer in the league, which is very unrealistic for this season, with Haaland in the division with 19 goals. Calvert-Lewin actually ends up with 19 himself, supposedly, but James Ward-Prowse tops the assist charts with 13. So looking at Graham Potter's season then, he won the Premier League with 40 games won, 11 drawn and 9 lost. And he could have easily won more. He lost in the final of the EFL Cup against Liverpool, lost in the quarterfinals of the Champions League to Liverpool, and lost in the FA Cup semi-final to Arsenal. So not a bad season, right? Well, I've got a secret to let you in on. I actually simulated this 4 more times, and well, they weren't very good. You see, in my first simulation, he actually got sacked in March, despite winning the League Cup. After this 2-0 loss to Man City, a little over 2 weeks after the EFL Cup win, he was sacked. And I suppose for Chelsea, this run of form from West Ham down was not particularly good. But it still feels a little bit harsh to be sacking him after that run of results. However, when I was looking at the One Football app, the sponsors of today's video, I looked down Chelsea's news articles and I could see that they dominate the list of most ruthless manager sackings of all time. And so if you want to find out more news like this, as well as keeping up to date with all the latest scores from around the world, download the One Football app for absolutely free from the top line of the description. Doing so really helps me and the channel out. Worth pointing out actually that Graham Potter was replaced by Zinedine Zidane. In my second simulation with Chelsea, it actually turns out Potter was not given much of a chance at all. Sacked in very early November, must have been one of the earliest manager sackings of the season, playing just 7 games won, 2 games drawn and 8 games lost. Marcelo Bielsa came in to replace him interestingly, but looking at Chelsea's schedule at the start of the season, you can kind of see why he wasn't given much time at all. Not particularly great to start the season off, didn't do very well in September either, got a little bit of form going in October, but early November, I lost to Benfica in the Champions League and I lost to Brighton in the Premier League, was the end of the line for Potter. And in my third simulation, it was Diego Simeone who replaced Graham Potter after he won 13, drew 9 and lost 9 games as the Chelsea manager, being sacked just 2 weeks into the new year. And actually, I think this one is the harshest sacking. Obviously not a great start to the season, but actually didn't lose a game from November down until the Bayer Leverkusen game in the Champions League, picked up a few draws, but that was not enough for Todd Bowley. He was gone. It was actually my 4th simulation where Potter went on to win the league and stay in charge, but in my 5th simulation, he actually stayed in charge there as well, coming 4th in the Premier League with Chelsea. Although they finished way off Arsenal in 3rd place and a mile off City and Liverpool at the top of the table. But Raheem Sterling was firing, 19 goals in the season for Chelsea that year, and I think in real life Sterling's going to end up being the top scorer for Chelsea. Poor old Brighton without Potter though do get relegated, so I think Brighton are going to really miss him. Interestingly though, his record isn't actually that good, I don't think. Didn't win any actual competitions. Obviously we saw him got sacked after winning the League Cup, but 28 wins, 18 draws and 11 losses. I went back to the save file where Chelsea won the title and simulated until Tuchel actually got sacked. And he actually lasted until the 5th of December 2026 before being sacked. 187 games won, 59 drawn and 57 lost, but only won the Premier League once and the FA Community Shield once. And now this geezer is in charge of the club. Following the title win, Chelsea maintained the bare minimum, coming 2nd in the 2nd season, 3rd in the 3rd season, 2nd in the 4th season, 4th in the 5th season, and then eventually Chelsea sacked Tuchel on the way to 4th place in the middle of the 6th season. Chelsea's squad actually stayed pretty similar across those 6 seasons, with some notable additions to the team. Ibanez and Bastoni came in at the centre-back spot, with Chukwuemeka becoming a staple in the centre midfield for Chelsea. Livkovic and Zabarani help bolster the defence on the bench, with Vitinha, Tefurda and Angelino coming on the bench as well. So on the balance of things, I think Graham Potter will do a fairly reasonable job at Chelsea, but I do think that their transfers this summer weren't great. I don't think they've adequately replaced Christensen or Rudiger. Even though they brought in Koulibaly and Fofana, I don't think either of them are quite as good as the players they are replacing, so it's going to be difficult for them to slot into the team and actually have a good job at the back. They're also lacking a striker. Obviously they brought in Aubameyang, but is he really up to the task? I don't know. But I do think Football Manager has been pretty harsh in getting him sacked 3 times in our experiments so far today. I do think he'll last until at least the end of the season. And so if you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop a like on it for me and subscribe to the channel if you are new around here. And if you want to watch another one similar to it, I did the same concept with Steven Gerrard when he first joined Aston Villa. Go watch that one and see how it compared to real life.